joining us today on Real Estate Insiders. I'm Danny Poulos with the Elite Lending Team at Femby. We're going to take things in a little different direction today and get away from the real estate topics. We're joined by Lambka of Chic in North Palm Beach, and guess she's a fashion expert. So, you know, in the real estate business and the mortgage business, we're always, any business, we're concerned about how we present ourselves and presenting ourselves in the right way in the right situation. So we're going to talk about some of those things. So first thing, Lisa, tell us a little bit about yourself and your history, and then we'll get right into it.
All right, well, let's see. My background, though, is not fashion, unfortunately, but I love it. My background was construction, manufacturing, and high tech. Go figure. But now that I'm out of the boardrooms, I don't have to dress in suits every day, so I get to have fun playing dress up. So that's what I do. And I help dress up people in their outfits, for whether it's casual to black tie. And it's a lot of fun.
I got a feeling you didn't just start dressing up.
I've been doing this since I was 2. So,
okay.
You know,
so it was already
I'm 55, so it's been a long time.
It was already in your blood. You were just repressed for that time, and then all of a sudden you got to let it all go. So let's go into some fashion tips first. We were talking earlier about dressing appropriately for different occasions, especially when you come to the business world. So I'll let you take it. Give us some examples about the different situations where you have to dress differently.
Okay, well, obviously what I'm wearing now isn't something I would wear on a business meeting. I feel that women, especially women, because I was a woman executive, needs to wear a suit. Number one, it looks professional. Number two, it shows that she has some power. And it will put her in a different realm, because you're dealing, most of us women deal mostly in the men's world, and so that's why it's very important that women wear suits and dress appropriately for business. No plunging necklines, no really short skirts, you know, use your head. You know, a lot of people understand that some things are, you know, you shouldn't do, and other people don't understand that, but you should. I mean, it's proper etiquette. And if you're going into a boardroom or meeting somebody or selling a multi-million-dollar home or a piece of property, I mean, you want to look like you're a professional.
Right.
You don't want to look like a clown.
So it's okay to have your own style, but
it is, most definitely. And I did, even in corporate, and I dealt with Fortune 100 companies, and I sold to the DOD and everything else. And I always had style, but I had to tone it down for meetings.
So how much is, let's say, real estate business, showing clients around, what would you say is too dressed up?
Well, something like this I don't think I would wear to show a client property. You know, for women I would say a suit or a skirt and blouse or slacks with a nice shirt, correct. And men, you know, I still think men should be in a shirt and tie. I know you don't want to wear them anymore, but
I tell you, I just recently stopped wearing them, because I actually like wearing a tie, but it got to the point working in Florida where it felt a little out of place having a tie on, but I really enjoy wearing a tie. I like dressing up like you do.
Yeah, and I love to see men in suits. I think that nothing looks better than a guy in a suit. So if you're in that kind of business, then I think that's appropriate attire.
A suit that fits properly
and is tailored well, and yes.
Nothing worse than a bad suit.
That's true. That is very true, Danny. That is very true.
So as long as we're talking about mistakes like bad suits, what would be some of the typical faux pas you see when someone's dressing for a particular occasion?
Well,
proper etiquette.
Well, a lot of women like to wear real plunging necklines, and sometimes they're inappropriate, I think, for business. I think if you're in a business setting, you should wear either something higher up. You don't want to do that eyes are up here thing. Right, yeah, I mean, you know, women say they get it bad enough with men, and, you know, if you wear a plunging neckline, well, then what do you expect, you know? So you got to kind of be careful with that. And I like scarves and necklaces and things like that you can put in your neckline, so to cover that. So if your shirt is a little low cut, you could put a scarf in there or a necklace, and then they're not just looking at your cleavage. So it kind of makes it a little more appropriate. So let's talk a little bit about the way you do your business, because it's very, very, very unique. We know that you like to dress up for a long time, that it just bubbled to the surface when you left the corporate world. But tell people a little bit of just the way that your business operates, what it's about. Sure, I'd be happy to. I started this business about 2 years ago when I was living in California, and so what I did was I decided to sell women's accessories. Jewelry, fine jewelry, hats, handbags, belts, scarves. And then I went into men's as well because I had found out that men really like to buy ties and cufflinks and tie clasp and hats and belts and suspenders, so I started to do that as well. So my husband and I moved here. He was very ill, and so we decided to move here because I grew up here in North Palm Beach, and so I decided to do it here. And I've changed my business model recently to where I do the parties at my home. Whoever hosts the party gets 20% of everything that I sell, and I supply all the refreshments, and it works out perfectly.
Okay, let's stop you right there because let's get to what a party is then.
Okay, a party is when they have anywhere from 5 to 20 people at my home.
Right.
And the women, I call it dress-up parties.
Right.
And if they have children, we can do little princess parties where I'll start with age 10, girls at age 10 and up, for a princess party. And they can come and play dress-up as well. I do gloves, I do shawls, I have furs, I have everything that would...
Are their heads full grown when they're 10 so that all the hats fit? Or...
Well, no, but we can stuff them.
Oh, okay.
Heck, I have a small head. I
thought maybe their head stopped growing at 10 and that's why you picked that age.
No, I picked that age because if they're younger than that, then you got to watch.
Too much work.
Too much work. But that's how I started it, and for any charity that I do, and I am very active in several charities. I am the vice chairman of the board of Seagull Services. And for any charity that I do, I will donate 25% back of what I sell. So if a charity wants to put on a party for their patrons or whatever, we can do that as well.
So when they come over and dress up, what are they in store for? How many hats do you have?
I have 500 hats in my collection. I know I have to have the biggest hat collection in Florida.
So you got
just have to.
10 or 20 people looking at 500 hats.
You betcha. They're hanging up all over, and I have a cabinet that has about 50 more in it.
You have any scarves?
I probably have 300 scarves and a couple hundred handbags and a couple hundred belts, and I have mostly one-of-a-kind items. I buy my stuff from all over the world. I've been collecting for 35 years, so I have quite an assortment. I also design pieces. So a lot of them are one-of-a-kind because I did design them. And I just have fun, and I want people to have fun, and I want people, when they buy things from me, I want them to love it, because if they don't love it, they won't wear it.
Right.
And I want them to wear it, because then that way they will tell their friends, and I will get more business. So that's my goal.
Right. Before we get into some of these interesting pieces, I just want to, because you've told me the story about a lot of your customers are women that just come over with their favorite new dress.
That's right.
And you're going to accessorize them from top to bottom. Is that hard for someone to do on their own? What do I know about that?
It's not. I mean, but a lot of women or men even, aren't comfortable with that. So, they'll go to a store and they'll pick out earrings, and then they'll go home and say, well, gee, did that really go or not?
Right.
Where I'm at, they can select all kinds of things, not just a pair of earrings, but I will help them select the right pair for that outfit. And it's kind of a knack that I have, I guess, and I love it.
I would think it takes a lot of the stress out of the whole deal of accessorizing an outfit when you're there throwing things on that they look right.
I had a girlfriend come over the other day with 2 dresses, and she says, Lisa, I need hats to go with these dresses because I'm wearing them she was wearing one for the horse race, the Kentucky Derby. And she says, will you please, I need hats. And she gave me her price range. I said, not a problem, I have plenty. And we took out a couple. The first hat I showed her, she loved it. She wanted that one. Then the other one we picked out was a perfect color. She put it on. She says, Lisa, I'm not comfortable in this hat. I said, well, don't worry about it. I said, I have 500 hats here. I'm sure we can find another one to match, so it's not a problem. So sure enough, we found another one, and she loved it, and she felt comfortable, and she wears it, and she says her husband loves them, and that's what I want. I want people to walk out of there feeling confident and love what they wear.
And tell people where they got the hat.
And where they got it, you betcha.
So let's not run out of time. Pull out some of these cool things you show me.
Well, this is a necklace I made out of jade beads and ivory. It's an antique piece. And it's quite interesting with the The ivory piece is probably 100 or so years old. It was actually a box and we drilled it. My jeweler drilled it for me and we put it together.
And these are eating utensils over here.
These are eating utensils that I made into bracelets. And this one has a coral carving on it. And this one has a piece of malachite on it. And then you just wear them like that on your wrist. So they're very unique.
And this here on your wrist?
Oh, this bracelet I made, and this pagoda is actually an antique salt shaker that I mounted onto the bracelet. And then the ring is also another antique sterling salt shaker that I made into a ring.
You're a walking seasoning dispenser.
I am, and I repurpose things. Like this is an antique purse from the 1890s, and I had it made into a necklace and put a stone on it. So, you know, somebody can actually wear it as a piece of art because you really can't use it as a handbag anymore.
How about if you're jousting? It looks like one of those things that might protect you.
It does. Yeah, it might catch a bullet for you. I don't know. And then this was a little nail file and clip, and so I made earrings out of these. So these are kind of interesting.
Wow.
And they're just abalone shell, and so you wear them as earrings.
Those are for guys, right?
Well, I guess, if you want.
Like a weapon.
But but they're different, and that's what I do. And I also take little spoons and make earrings and all kinds of things. So if somebody wants something designed, I can help them with that. I have jewelers that I work with, so that's never a problem.
Tell everybody how they can reach you. They're going to want to learn more about this stuff.
Okay, you can reach me at, my number is area code 408-637-8575. And my website is www.rechic.biz. It's a business, so.
Thanks so much for coming in today. A lot of fun.
Thank you. This was fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you.